What's going on guys, Jesscario Flips here and welcome to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be answering some of your questions. And yes, this is my first Q&A, so bear with me. So our first question comes from Spotlight Vid saying, are you going to make a cinematic series? And to answer that question, yes. Yes I will. I don't know when exactly I'm going to be doing that, but it's going to be at some point in the future because of like budgeting and all that like expensive stuff. Our next question comes from Dotator saying, what is your biggest inspiration? Now that's a good question. My biggest inspiration would have to be this platform, Storyfire. As for why Storyfire is my biggest inspiration, well, just everything about it really. The community, written, video, socials, the fact that you can create things more freely, just everything about Storyfire I just love. Just fucking love this place, man. Also my biggest inspiration would be Hollywood. As for why Hollywood is my inspiration, well, because Hollywood does make good movies, good shows and whatnot. So, and that just makes me want to make movies and TV shows one day. Plus, YouTube's another one. As for why YouTube's my biggest inspiration, is because like, when you get to like millions of followers, people go places, like, in a big way. And I've seen so many big YouTubers like make it to the big guns. Whether it's like making their own movies, making their own shows, making apps, games, and a whole lot more. It's just amazing. Our next question comes from Base Penguin Blendy saying, how did you find Storyfire? Good question. I found Storyfire through Majugganotes. Like, as soon as Majugganotes made that video back in 2017 about Storyfire, I joined it. Our next question comes from Amaracia saying, is Salt the friends we made along the way? Yes. Yes. Also, eat salt. Our next question comes from Mr. Communist the Godfather saying, can you speak different languages? Also, should I eat salt? No, I don't speak other languages, only English. Also, yes, eat salt. Our next question comes from Nathaniel HD saying, how are your videos not upside down? They're not. Next question comes from Jake the Snake 3 saying, if you're selected for mod or Discord staff, what would you do first and why? The first thing I'll do would be flexing a little bit because, you know, I'll be a mod, you know. Moderator for duty. But no, for moderating, I'll like go to any posts that go against TOS and just delete them. And then Discord staff, I'll pretty much do the same thing. Our next question comes from Connor the Slayer saying, have you seen or not seen Godzilla vs. Kong? No, I have not seen it, but I would love to at some point. Our next question comes from Poogle Hall saying, how did you find out about Storyfire and what made you decide to use the app? So I found out about Storyfire when Jesse Ridgway made the video about it, and then I used it because, you know, back then YouTube was kind of fucking me over and I wasn't passionate about YouTube anymore, so here I am. Our next question comes from Slick saying, if you could collab with one creator, big or small, who would it be? So for big creators, I would collab with Devin, Shallow, Reverse Josh, Kyle, and all these guys. And then small creators would be just anyone really. If you're up for a collab, hit me up. Our next question comes from GTS Scavelli22, sorry if I mispronounced your name, saying, would you do a gaming series for your videos? Yes I will at some point. Our next question comes from iTalk Storyfire saying, will you make a video series that has a narrative eventually? Yes, I will do that at some point. Just trying to like figure things out and then, yeah. Our final question comes from Dylan DeVille saying, what bands do you listen to? Do you want to collab with me? Who are your favorite writers and video creators on Storyfire? Good question, Dylan. Bands? I just like to listen to old school music, and as for collabing with you, definitely. You know, if you're like free, hit me up. And then favorite writers and video creators. Well, there's a lot to name. When it comes to favorite video creators, mine would be Slick, Brian Marin, Poogle Hall, Doll Pulse, and Not Daddy Kyrie. And as for my favorite writers, it would be Sly Spite, Amaracia, Ghost River, The Mist, and Alcel Funk. And that's it for all the questions. If you guys enjoy this and want to see more Q&As in the future, definitely let me know in the comments. And remember to heart this video, subscribe, and Timmy some Blaze for more content. Peace and stay lit.